when I began going out with Tanya, what I noticed and like straight out of the gate, that she was very nurturing. She was very caring, and she's like very kind-hearted.
Really got to know him, really got to know like what he was thinking, really got to know his personality, really got to know about his values, him as a man, him as a person.
As soon as you start thinking about the future, then you know you're feeling the right thing. So again, you start looking ahead and you start thinking, yeah, this could be, you know, the mother of my children, etc. And it's important how you treat people, and that's what I felt from her initially. That's basically the foundation, a lot of what she continues to stand out for me as well.
It's the first time I actually sat down and really got like, I don't know, the ethos of Humphrey. I know it sounds like really cheesy, but I just really can see this man being like the man for me.
Oh, you go first.
I don't want to go first. Okay, go on, babe.
Oh, well, what? I mean, I just said, oh, okay, fine. Let's keep this moving. You can basically copy parts of my answer.
Okay.
So, like, in sense, I think your question about love, I think it means something depending on, I mean, it can mean various things to different people, but I think characterized within our relationship, yeah, I think it's about our shared differences and our values that keep us together.
Yeah. I like the notion of what the Bible says when it says agape love. So it's just like the highest form of love. So it is mentioned and obviously referenced to the love of God, but obviously that's just the highest form of love, and I can't think of any other form of love that you would have than for your husband and your children and your family. And you know, I was brought up in religion. I'm not really religious anymore, but I just still hold that ethos of like love has no boundaries, no ends. Like, yeah, love is long-suffering. So yeah, I just like that sort of like thought of love. So I like to think that we would have that in our marriage. I know we'll have that in our marriage and with our family and with our children. So yeah, that's my view on love. From the moment we landed, I don't know if he's mentioned this or not, but Bob Marley is his father's favourite musical artist, and his father's not with us at the moment. Well, yeah, his father's passed, unfortunately. And when we landed in Greece and we got into the cab, it's really weird. We was like in the middle of nowhere, getting into this random cab, and the Greek cab driver was playing Bob Marley tracks, like the complete Bob Marley album, and it was just so random to be in Greece listening to the Bob Marley album. You know, you think like if you're in London or, you know, if you're back home in Jamaica or wherever, yeah, you'd hear Bob Marley track, but to be in the middle of Greece listening to Bob Marley, so it was like, wow. And then we get into this hotel, it's amazing, it's beautiful, and we look up at the stars, and the stars are shining so brightly, and I was like, oh, so I was like, oh, look, I was like, was listening to like Bob Marley. I said, you know, it's like we're on holiday, everything's so perfect. I was like, you know, it's almost like your father's with us now. Look at this star that's shining so brightly, and everything just felt so overwhelming, so emotional, so beautiful. Just the holiday alone itself, to be with someone that you love so dearly, regardless of whether there's a proposal or, you know, a marriage. We were committed, we do love each other, and it was just so nice to be in that moment. It's just the icing on the cake to be able to have that beautiful setting. So yeah, it was really, really nice. Like he done well. I was like, the guy did well, he did well. Yeah, it was a really, really nice proposal, like a beautiful setting, and yeah, it was like overwhelming, very emotional. It's really nice.
Like I'd taken her out to dinner that night, and it was just as usual. I was just like pretty relaxed and stuff, and like the funny thing about the story is that it was completely a scenario whereby the food was rubbish, absolutely rubbish, and like it's nothing against the restaurant or whatever it was. It was a nice hotel where we were, but for whatever reason we didn't have a good experience with food the whole time. So what we then, I took her back, we took pictures, usual. Tanya was like, you know, cameras all blazing and stuff like that. And we just got back to the room, and then we had like a little like balcony area. And basically what we were able to do, like I just played some music, etc. I started leaning into a bit of a spiel, bit of a speech, etc. I'm sure she saw it coming a mile away, but then yeah, in that moment I pushed the seat back, and then I just kind of like got on one knee and proposed. And then I think in that whole thing, she was just like, she was physically shaking from the kind of the proposal, as it were. Then yeah, I think actually putting the ring on the finger, I think that actually I missed it in my memory actually, because I think it's one of those things where like it's all a bit of a blur. I know the ring got on her finger at some point, but I don't necessarily know if I put it on. I think she was still like jumping around and agitated. And I think I was like, oh yeah, because she was just like hugging me and like, you know, like, go, look at the ring. Like, because now I've gone a long way to actually look at this ring. And I'm like, don't care about me, you see me every day. This is new, this is the ring. So I was like, yeah, and I think eventually like we kind of both just kind of calmed down in the whirlwind, and yeah. I think that's when I put on her finger. That's my account of it. I think that's how it happened. Wait, has this been put through by Tanya for me to get it right? I'll get it wrong. Tanya's favourite dish is probably something her grandma makes. So I'd go along the angle of maybe the ackee and saltfish her grandma makes, and the soup her grandma makes.
Shellfish. I love anything that's seafood. Ooh. So I love prawns, crab. Yeah. You know this, don't you?
Yeah. And also anything your grandma might have made you, like, you know. Well, hold on a minute. Saltfish. Saltfish, does that count?
Ackee and saltfish.
Yeah, that counts, right?
I don't think saltfish is shellfish.
I mean, but it's got fish in the name, and your grandma makes it for you. I mean, wouldn't you like that over generic food that no one has ever made for you?
I love my grandma's food.
Yeah, I thought so. I think that's the answer we're going for. That's good.
I'm not a woman of many words sometimes. And obviously we'll be a married couple now on March 9th, and as this is playing, Humphrey will be sat next to me as my husband, and I don't really know if I'm going to do a speech on the day or not, so I'll probably take the opportunity now while I'm feeling comfortable just to say thank you, and that I'm really proud of the man that he is, and just for all the sacrifices he's made, for all the hard work that he's put in, for all the stress, for all the ups and downs that we've been through as a couple, and it means so much to me, and I just feel as if I don't say it enough to him as a girlfriend, as a fiance, and I'm just really going to make it you know, the forefront of my mind to say it more to him as his wife, and obviously when we are lucky enough to have our children and when we have our family, I'm going to make sure that I instill it into our children as well, to make sure that we just let Dad know and Humphrey know how much we love him and how thankful we are and how grateful we are for him to be our dad and our husband and the head of our household. So thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to say for the wedding day. Let's party, guys!